Hey everyone, today we are going to review operations with integers, okay? So, when we do this, remember you're going to have a quiz over adding and subtracting integers and decimals, and then eventually we'll have one over multiplying and dividing. I don't want you to get confused. So, when we're doing something like this, what I like to do, because this is all add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So I know when I am looking, I'm looking about, do I want to do the triangle, which is multiply and divide, or do I want to do arrows, which is add and subtract? So if you take the time, it might make a difference for you. So like I can tell here, this is add or subtract. That's multiply. I'm going to go ahead and put a triangle there. Okay, I'm not even filling it in. That's what it would look like if it was filled in. I would go in and put a triangle next to everything that's multiply or divide. I can tell this is add or subtract, multiply or divide, multiply or divide. So I would put a triangle next to each one so you don't get confused on the signs. I guarantee when I make these, many times I do the signs a specific way to confuse you, so it checks whether you actually know why the sign is what it is. Okay? So we're going to start with number 1. Okay? We're going to do some of these together. You're going to do some alone. So number 1, I can already tell this is add and subtract. So just as a reminder, remember same, sum, add, different, subtract, and then a leading positive or normal addition moves right, gets bigger. However, if I add a negative, this changes my thinking and it moves left. Normal subtraction moves left, whereas if I subtract a negative, that's actually going to move right. Okay? So, when I'm right here, I have negative 13 minus negative 18. So this one, I know I'm not using the triangle, by the way. So this is a leading negative. Nope. Nope. Yep. So a negative, hopefully we know without even looking at that a negative starts to the left on the number line. Okay? Now I have minus a negative. Remember, I'm not looking at this sign anymore. I'm looking right here. I see minus a negative. They need to be right next to each other. Nope. 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 Yep. Okay. So our arrows are going in different directions. So it's not same, sum, add. It's difference, subtract. So what's 18 minus 13? It's 5, right? It's 5. Okay. So is it more to the left or more to the right? Hopefully you know it's more to the right. That means it's positive. So I can leave it just like that. If you really want to put a positive, you can. It's definitely not necessary. Okay, so now let's look at number 2. This is another add or subtract. Okay? So I do not see a sign here. So if I don't see a sign, it's positive. Positives always start to the right of 0. Okay? Now I'm not looking here anymore. I'm done looking here, and I'm going to look here. I see minus a negative. Look over here at your key, minus a negative. Oop, it's right there. It goes right. Okay? And again, a lot of you like to change that to a plus. Perfectly fine. In this case, it definitely won't mess you up. Some people it does mess you up. This one won't. So when I go to solve this, I'm going to see that these are going in the same direction. So same, sum, add. It's appearing that I'm adding these. Okay? When I add, I want to make sure I line up my decimals. Right here, I do not see a decimal, so I'm going to just put one in so that I have it, and I'm going to line them up. 20 and 2/10 plus 31, and there's my decimal. If you want to put a 0 there, be my guest, you do not have to. Okay, so when you go to add that, we do need to bring down the decimal here. 2 plus 3, 51 and 2/10. Okay. Number 3, the easy problems, especially this because it has a 5. This is a triangle problem. So you don't have to do it this way, but I like to do my signs first. Negative times negative is a positive. You don't have to put that, but this is like a reassurance for me that I paid attention to it. 5 times 7, okay, 5 times 7, 35. If you don't know, count up by 5s. Okay, number 4, this is a triangle problem. So hopefully you have already gone in there and put all the triangles. I know it's a triangle because it's division, okay? So this is integers here. So let's fill out this triangle, positive, negative, negative. So this 18 is positive, 2 is negative, positive, negative. I'm left with a negative, okay? Now, what is 18 divided by 2? Put that answer right here. The answer is 9, okay? Number 5. This is an arrow problem. I can tell this is add and subtract, okay? So I have a leading negative. Which way does a leading negative start on the number line? Starts to the left, okay? So here is, I'm going to look right here, guys. Don't look anywhere but right there. Don't look here. This is going to mess you up. Minus 14. No. No. Yes. Minus 14. It moves to the left. These are the ones that people miss. So look at those arrows. They're in the same direction. Same, sum, add. Okay? So by yourself, I want you to add 21 and 14. What do you get? Hopefully you get 35. Is that my answer? Nope, because I did not put the negative. Notice the entire problem is to the left of 0. Okay, the entire problem is to the left of 0. So that means it's going to end up as a negative. Okay. Now let's look at number 6. So I want you to think, is this an arrow problem or a triangle? Which one do you think it is? Hopefully you can tell this is a triangle problem because this dot means multiply. Okay. So, positive, negative, negative. Let's see here. 3.4, I don't see the sign. 3 and 4 tenths, there's no sign. Negative 6, so positive, negative. What am I left with? Negative. It's that easy. Okay? Don't mess it up with adding and subtracting because then you'll think it's negative because the 6 is more. Okay? More to the left. But that's not how we do add and subtract. Okay? So, 3 and 4 tenths times 6. Notice I'm not putting in my sign because I already took care of that. Okay? So, 6 times 4, 24. 6 times 3, 18, plus 2, 20. And I move my decimal, 1, move it in 1. Don't bring it down because you're going to start confusing that with adding and subtracting. Okay? If you don't know your 6's, remember you can list them to the side. Okay? You're going to be so tired of me saying that. Okay? So 20 and 4 tenths. Okay? And this is the kind of stuff I love to see. As a math teacher, when I see this, I know this means you're not trying to use a calculator. I know you're using your own brain. You're trying to justify how you get your answers. Okay? So, on number 7, negative 14 plus 27. This is definitely an arrow problem. Okay? This is add, subtract. So, what can you tell me about this? Which way does it start? Left. Okay? Now, don't look at that negative anymore. We're just looking at plus 27. Normal addition moves right. So are those arrows, are they going in the same direction or different direction? Hopefully you can tell they're going in a different direction. Difference, subtract. Okay? So I'm going to subtract 27, take away 14. And what do y'all get? And then is it positive or negative? Hopefully you know it's positive because I'm 14 left, but I moved 27 right, which means that I move into the positives. Remember, you do not need to put that positive sign. Okay? So now I want you to look, because we're almost done working together. Okay? I want you to look at the difference between 8 and 9. Can you see the difference between 8 and 9? This one is an arrow problem. I can tell it's an arrow problem because this is add and subtract. I know that because I'm seeing this take away, okay, between the number and the parentheses. Over here, there's nothing between here. That means this is a multiply problem, okay? So I want to make sure you do that. So I'm going to let you do 8 and 9 alone, and I'm going to move down here and we're going to do number 11 together. So while you're working, I'm just going to erase this. So you're doing number 8 and 9. Okay. And so I'm going to be working down here. So the first thing, I had a triangle by this, because it's a triangle problem because I see the dot, so that means multiply. So I'm going to take care of that first. Negative times negative is a positive. Two same signs gives you a positive. Okay. Now I'm going to multiply 2 9/10 times 1 1/10. Again, I'm not writing it this way because the decimals are lined up. I'm writing it this way because I'm multiplying and the numbers should be justified to the right, okay? So 1, super easy to multiply by, okay? So 1 times, and if you know you have a hard time multiplying, then I'm just going to box this in. 1 times 9, 1 times 2, okay? So I'm done with that 1. Now, I don't care how you do this. You might have been taught to put an X. You might have been taught to put a 0. I usually think of it as a 0, but I color it in only because when I multiply by a 0, sometimes it can throw me off to see if I held my spot. So remember, when you're multiplying by this next digit, that you need to move that place value over 1. 1 times 9, 1 times 2. Okay? So what do we get here? 9, 11, carry that 1, 3, and I'm going to move that decimal, 1, 2. Notice I did not bring it down, 1, 2. Don't forget that decimal, it makes the answer completely wrong. Okay, it's the difference between $319 and $3.19. So you are going to finish this up by yourself, and I wanted to make sure you know that this right here, this slash, is a division sign, just to make sure you know that. Okay, it's kind of like a fraction bar, but that's your division sign.